Hello everyone, how you doing? And welcome back to Skye and Evan in the morning. And today we're going to be talking about Palm Springs, the Groundhog Day movie starring Andy Samberg and Cristin Milioti, which was Evan's recommendation even though he hadn't seen it, but I have. Evan, what did you think of it?
Yeah, it's kind of unique in that way because, like I said, it was like from the Groundhog Day arc. I purposefully didn't look up anything about this movie because a friend told me. I mean, it's good advice for movies in general. Just don't look up trailers, don't look up plot, just go in blind. And I kept it that way. All I'd seen really was the poster of like the pool and all that, and I'd heard Groundhog Day, and I'm like, okay, but it really interesting take on it because I feel like we've covered a bunch at this point. We covered Happy Death Day 1 and 2, and we also obviously the original Groundhog Day. We also did Edge of Tomorrow, and I'm like, all of them share a lot in common. It's funny how that works because any time loop story owes something to Groundhog Day, but I think what makes this one interesting is that it's two people
Mm-hmm.
sharing it.
Oh,
Like, is
yeah.
that the others technically didn't have that? Like Rita had been in it before, but she lost the power. And then, like, you know, Tree confides in people and like they know what's going on, which also happens at the first Groundhog Day. This is, I think, the first I've seen where like there are a bunch of people that are like going through the time loop at the same time. And they they do a lot of funny things with that, almost like making like a bunch of jokes from the different characters' perspectives, and like different characters can reset the day and wake up. So it's like it's really funny, really unique execution of the idea.
Yeah, I really like it, and I mean, yeah, it's I mentioned that I think I messaged you while I was watching my, Edge of Tomorrow of being like, hey, this reminds me of Palm Springs, in the sense of like having someone coach you through, going through Groundhog Day,
Yeah, but
because
I
obviously Rita had gone through it before, and now it's Andy Samberg has gone through it, so it's interesting that way.
well, it was funny because I realized that part of the way through. I'm like that's another thing the other movies do is they like have the character go through the day and then they wake up to like what the fuck. But
Yeah.
they show Andy Samberg at the wedding and you're just like, oh, like he's like putting the chair up against like the drunk guy. And you're like,
Yeah, he's
he's
already
been through
been
this a
through it.
lot.
Yeah,
And
it's
there's a
great.
line like I've been to more weddings than you could imagine. He's like, you'd be
You'd be
surprised. It's
surprised.
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's funny
Oh
because
man.
that character is implied that she's also in the loop later on.
Yes, it's a small. I love that little moment. I love moments like that. You're like, does that? Are they like saying that? I'm like, I really think that that might be what they're implying.
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe it's not even the same loop, but like something was up with that lady. I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Very interesting. Yeah, yeah, and I really like, I mean, it's very interesting in terms of like Groundhog Day stories. They all explore the idea of like the pointlessness of life and like try to find
Yes.
purpose when everything has lost all meaning. I find that very interesting, and this movie I think explores it very interestingly in the sense of like relationships being
Yes,
like the
and like
forefront, because like Groundhog Day, he finds purpose in the purposelessness by just like being a good person because it just becomes second nature to him, because just like why not, like this is just like finding purpose in a relationship, that one person that makes like life worth living, makes you want to either die with them or continue, live the rest of your life with them. It's like that commitment at the end of them both walking through the portal, and exploding, is of being like I am with you on this. It's just like that full commitment, which I find very interesting. A very interesting way to
well,
explore in this type of story.
well, it's funny. Did you ever see the movie Hard Eyes from earlier this year?
No.
That was an interesting movie. I didn't love it, but that movie, Christopher Landon is actually one of the writers, and he was the guy that directed the Happy Death Day movies. And they there's a little bit of that in Happy Death Day in terms of like relationships and like cynicism there, but it's huge in Hard Eyes. And this movie has a similar thing where the characters are like, I think Milioni's character says at one point that it's like I we can't stand being alone, and that's like the only reason we get married, that's the only reason we have like relationships or stuff like that. And the two leads have a really cynical view of love and relationships, but
Yeah.
as the movie progresses, they grow to be more sincere and to care about each other more. And part of it is the time loop, and it's just also like Roy again. J.K. Simmons, I actually didn't know he was in this movie. It's funny how big of a role he has, but even he has like an interesting perspective on it too, and that's what's beneficial about a bunch of people sharing the loop. It works surprisingly
Yeah.
well.
Oh yeah, I mean him finding a purpose in it and his family that he didn't pay
Yeah.
attention to before, but now he does because it's like it's all I have. It's very interesting.
I love that line. Like everyone's got their own Irvine. That's
Yeah.
a funny line. Like, oh man, I will say honestly, I don't know about you, but that felt a little rushed when it's like they hit him with the car and like put him in the ICU, and he's like, "Yeah, it's cool, we're cool." I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Well,
You were driving all the way to.
it makes sense, I think, in the sense of like, it happens off screen and we're not focusing on him, but he's still having his own arc, and he's not like a big character, so I don't feel like too fussed about you know
Yeah,
missing out on seeing that arc on screen. But at the same time, I kind of agree. It's kind of like it comes out of left field, like where you just chill when they're just
yeah.
having beers.
Well, I mean, clearly you're supposed to think he doesn't have a family. A couple of movies have done that, just been like, oh wow, they've got a wife and kids. Like they did that like Edge of 17. It's a thing with movies, but yeah, he's not a huge part of it, and he's more so for the sake of comedy because they make
Yeah.
him like the Terminator. It's
Yeah, it's very funny.
oh my god.
I love the "can you
Yeah.
kill me?" Skip the
He like
traffic.
throws him in the heart. It's like Jesus. Oh
Oh
my god. And
yeah.
the scene where they show what that happens, they both get like hopped up on designer drugs and end
Yeah,
up like he's like, don't go in, and he goes in anyway. Oh my god. This movie is so funny.
it is.
We're always spoiler discussions, but man, if you haven't seen Palm Springs, don't look anything up. It's shocking how well this movie works, even though it's relatively unknown.
Yeah, it is fairly simple. It's just very much just getting the story of like Groundhog Day, but relationship, and they got two very messed up people to be, uh, to really care for each other through the time loop. Like two people that have a very sad and nihilistic view of the world, and how that, sharing that with each other makes them like each other more, but then they realize that their view is wrong, that they actually do care about other people. It's just that they hadn't found the right person. It's great. It has, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
No,
just it's very simple, but it's great.
well, not to mention you also have like the groom who's like cheating
Oh
with one
yeah.
of the lead characters, and
It's
it's
so
like I
funny seeing all the actors, by the way, because that's Superman, right? From the
yeah,
CW.
I-
And it's
it
fucking
was so
Camila Mendez. I'm like, okay.
it was killing me. I remember looking at him, I was like, hold on. I'm like, I'll get it, I'll get it. I'm like, it's Superman. I'm like, yeah, it's totally him. And
Yeah.
I think was this right before? I haven't seen Superman and Lois. I've heard it's actually really good.
I think by that point he had already shown up in Supergirl, but Superman and Lois I think started in 2020 or something. So
Yeah, it's probably like the same year, but yeah, funny seeing him. He gives a good performance. Good performances all
yeah.
around. And oh my god, one of the funniest for me is Andy Samberg's girlfriend. Like it's so funny that he's known for years. He's so apathetic to her being unfaithful because and even though he wakes up with her every morning and because he just knows that he doesn't care. And
Yeah.
I
I mean, what
it's so
else is he
funny
gonna do?
you
And that's the thing that I like as well is they make a parallel of that, right? Because she wakes up in her well
yeah.
brother-in-law's bed, and she like says, "I can't keep waking up here," but he keeps waking up in his girlfriend's bed, she knows is cheating on him, and he just doesn't care.
It's funny. I knew that there was someone else there, and and when it happened, I'm like, oh yeah, that duh. But yeah, good parallel to draw between the two of them, and yeah, the whole movie is about that. It's like kind of about relationships in general,
Oh
and
yeah,
like what that does for people's lives, and finding fulfillment in that. Because And there's that line towards the end of the movie where she asks him, like, of all the people in the world, like, you'd pick me. Like, is it just because of this? And it's like, no, it's not that. And
Oh
it's hard
yeah,
for even him to know, probably, but it's
yeah,
really cool.
yeah. It's the thing of them just taking, the leap with faith by the end, which very almost literal. They have to blow themselves up. So yeah,
Yeah. What do you think of the portal in the cave? Like, as a mechanic, we've talked a lot about like movies that explain Groundhog Day. I think all of the rest,
yeah.
Happy
This
Death, the
movie
first Happy Death even explain it.
explains so much. It explains everything. Like we understand everything. It's fairly crazy just how much they know.
Yeah, he pretty much gives like he says like death is the same thing, and like oh something that I loved that they did in this movie that I don't think any of the other movies did is one of the first things she does is drive away. She just like drives as
Yeah,
far as she can, and she tries to stay awake. And it's like I've wondered that in Groundhog Day before. That never
yeah,
happens, but I'm like, surely you could just
yeah. I've
wake straight
seen.
up, like get in a car and drive, like and then maybe if you're out of the town, maybe if you just never go to
Yeah,
sleep, and it's like, nah, even that what
yeah.
doesn't work. It's like just go back.
Yeah, I've seen stories where like the clock hits midnight and then the day restarts. So it's like there's things like that. For them, it's like you can survive a few days. It just if you go to sleep, you go back to the original day. So
Yeah.
you're kind of fucked anyway.
And all of it adds up. And the cave, what I actually love about the cave is they never explain why. It's just like some earthquake, like crack of the earth, and it's just a cosmic tear. Like
Yeah,
how,
I don't
whatever, they
know.
don't know.
Cave. Yeah,
And yeah, there is a little bit of hand waviness with the quantum, and it's so funny how that works. I remember her just like putting down the books, like learn quantum physics online. I'm like, oh, she's gonna be an expert in that to figure out what the deal
yeah.
is. And yeah, that was
To
pretty
be
funny
fair,
thing
I
to
don't think
salt in
she's
the third
like an
act.
expert. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's
Yeah,
interesting. She
blowing up
obviously
a
learned
coat.
enough to understand the the theory of what she was looking into. It's just funny, like a
Yeah,
character like becoming an expert in something like that. But obviously, she has like infinite loops, so she may as well.
yeah. I will say something that I was a little weirded out with. Again,
Mm,
again, there's like a couple of just like isms with this movie, but when they like have almost like their breakup, if you will, like after the
uh,
the cop scene, um, he clearly figures out that like she was like sleeping with the groom, but it's like, shouldn't you be able to wake up and go to her room? I don't know, like if
well,
they were saying she just like went to the
she
diner and that's why
always she
she
always woke up
finds her.
before him. That's why every time he wakes up, she's already knocking on the door. So she
Yeah,
always
maybe.
snuck out before he woke up. So there was no way for him to
Yeah,
get her.
30-minute head start. Yeah, like
Yeah,
I that
exactly.
makes sense, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was how I interpreted all of that. So yeah,
Yeah. At any rate, they it's like they show that he doesn't really care too much to like go out and actively look for her. He like respects her enough to just kind of let her go.
yeah. I mean, yeah. If
And
she
and
doesn't want
and
to
by
talk to him, he's not gonna. Yeah.
and by the way, really good performances from both of them. I'm not
Oh
sure what
yeah.
other stuff Andy Samberg has been in as of late, but like this is a standout for him. It's funny, and it's good to see him like cynical because oftentimes he does play like the complete goofball. But it's funny seeing him be cynical but still like give those Andy Samberg isms. And
Hmm.
yeah, he's
Yeah,
still
he's
got it.
great. Yeah, and I mean Cristin Milioti. I've been a huge fan of her since How I Met Your Mother,
Yeah.
and seeing
Well,
her
oh, she's in that.
oh yeah, she plays the mother.
Really? I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
yeah,
Shit.
she's
Wow.
in season 9. Yeah,
What's
she
funny, before I watched The Penguin, the key thing I knew her from
from
was The
us.
Wolf of
Yeah,
Wall Street. She
yeah,
plays Jordan's first wife, and she's really good for as little screen time as she
yeah.
gets. I'm like, she's a great actress.
Yeah, I'm glad she's getting more recognition since the Penguin. She's great, and I loved her seeing her in this movie. It's so weird because the character she plays in How I Met Your Mother, the mother, she is so like pure and perfect that I see her in roles like this or the Penguin where she's like like a fuck up or like insane like a psycho in Penguin. I'm always like taken aback because I'm like, no wait, that's Tracy, that's the most like chill housewife woman you could ever meet. But it's interesting, she plays it really well, and honestly, I really like her. I think the way she portrays this character is really great in terms of just like showing the depth of her sadness and how much she tries to hide it. It was just like really well done for a character that like honestly it is a fairly short film, so we don't get to see a lot of them, and especially like because we're spending so much time on the loops, we don't get like a big history for them. We just have her saying like, "Oh, I was married once," and we don't even get the specifics. It's just like I knew it wasn't gonna work, and what that means for her. So I think like the way they characterize Andy Samberg and Cristin Milioti is great as well. Just like very quick and efficient, and without getting too much into detail about like their pasts. I mean, she even asked, "What did you used to work on before this?" It's like I honestly can't remember.
That was an interesting moment. And I did love that too, that it's like she'd been married and there's like, again with the cynicism that the characters like have about like love and
Yeah,
relationships. It's like she's like it's the whole like it never lasts thing, you know.
yeah,
And like you were saying, it's funny because like they show her like drinking at the beginning, and yeah, she's clearly a very flawed character before the movie even begins. So, and it's just an interesting setting for the movie too, for it to just be a wedding. Again, I did not know that was what the whole movie was, but basically, it's like they wake up the pool, and then from there on out, the wedding reception. That's kind of what like the story is every night. So yeah.
yeah. Very interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think we both really enjoyed the movie. It's interesting. We both gave the movie 7 out of 10. Do you have any like
Yeah,
criticisms, or is it
well,
just a case of like I can't rate it any higher?
I was really struggling with that. It's every episode we talk about like numbers being meaningless, but like a little something was holding it back for me. Even
uh-huh.
because Happy Death Day has a little more you can point out where you're like, some things could be stronger, even though like it's still got pretty damn good execution and it's really well directed. Like I was saying, like J.K. Simmons' character, like Roy, I believe is his name. Like that bit was a little bit rushed, and they didn't. Well, I think the explanation they give is all right, and I love that like as well that he's in Irvine. So anytime he wants like revenge and did like kill him, he's got to drive up there. So that's why he's
Yeah,
like not ever looming. But I don't know. There was a little something that wasn't quite bringing it up. I
yeah.
can't quite put my finger on it.
Oh no, I
It could
completely
be like
agree.
something.
The way I feel is just like it is a good movie, but it's not like you know, it just doesn't do anything to make it like wow. It's just very well executed
Yeah.
movie for what it was trying to do. There's nothing like that I think is like particularly wrong. Um,
It almost reminds me of certain A24 movies. You probably know like the ones I'm talking about that are like pretty like, there's almost like nothing to like really point out or like poke holes in, but you're just like, it's just average good movie
yeah,
as it were.
yeah.
Which
You know,
sucks to like knock this movie like that because it's actually really
what I
funny.
wouldn't even say it's a knock. Like I like having movies like this, or like Novocaine, where it's just like it's a solid movie. It's just a fun, well-made movie that tells its story well, and it doesn't reinvent the wheel. I appreciate this type of shit instead of like every movie trying to be the new like everything ever all at once. You know what I mean? Like trying to do something
Yeah,
extraordinary. We don't need that, and this movie does what it's trying to do really well. So I don't know. I appreciate movies like this. Novocaine
yeah.
is another good movie. Um, yeah. I probably
I
will never recommend it for the podcast though, because that movie's basically just action. There's not much to talk about.
I still haven't seen Nobody either. I'm curious
Oh,
about both
nobody's
because they both
great.
seem cut from the same cloth of like John Wicky, but every man more so. I don't know. I've never been too interested in either, but I should check them out because I've heard they're both funny. So
Yeah, I like Novocaine quite a bit. I like Nobody too. Nobody. Speaking of, Nobody 2 is coming out, right? Nobody
yeah, they're
2
making a sequel.
coming out this
I don't
year.
know what
We
they're
don't know
gonna do.
when.
Oh,
August twenty
this year,
first.
really?
Yeah, August 21st.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Wait,
that was a trailer, but I
it comes
haven't.
out in a month.
Yeah,
There is a trailer. I
there
didn't
is.
see
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I saw
Fucking
there was a trailer
marketing
released,
is
but I
so
didn't watch it because
weird.
I'm gonna watch it anyway. So I'm like, there's no point in watching the trailer.
I
Um,
haven't. Oh my god, marketing is so weird nowadays. Like movies don't advertise their own things. Like they're not in theaters. It is what it is.
yeah. Um, Yeah. All right. Is that it for Palm Springs?
I think so. I'm not too many other specifics I'd point out. Other than some of the deaths, by the way, like the truck, like I think they get hit by the same truck like over and over.
Yeah.
That was actually a really funny moment where he says like the pain
The
is real,
pain
but
is
he's like
real.
died in the ICU, and that's another thing that I loved, like that tied in thematically as well. Or
Yeah.
like we you still remember, it still matters even though everything resets. It's not like everything doesn't matter. And
Yeah.
yeah, I feel bad like acting like this is just some seven. Like I said, that something holding it back for me, but I still highly recommend this movie. And yeah, I
Yeah.
suppose would you recommend it?
Oh yes, for sure. Very fun movie. I think it's a very hard movie to dislike. Everything it does is just so much fun, and it doesn't take itself too
Yeah.
seriously at all. But it knows how to pack like an emotional punch in terms of like where to take the characters and everything. So I really appreciate this movie. I very much recommend it.
And how not to waste your time,
Oh
like a
yeah.
perfect 90 minutes. I'm like, thank you. Like I
Yeah,
miss
length is
90-minute
always a thing
movies.
we talk about, and yeah, 90-minute movie like this, just quick and efficient, doing everything it has to in the time it has. Just nice to see sometimes.
Yeah. Check it out. I'd set it aside for a while. I'm like, this is definitely up there for Groundhog Day movies. I
Mm,
think it's like similar to Edge of Tomorrow, like
yeah.
where I just, you know, similar premise, but does the job well.
Yeah, I think of the Groundhog Day movies we've seen, other than Groundhog Day, of course, which is top. I think the only one I like more than this is that Happy Death Day to You. Um,
Yeah, you straight up preferred the second one.
yeah,
I'm not sure which one. Like I might have preferred the second one. They were both. It's almost a great like package deal, like watching them as a double feature.
yeah,
So yeah.
yeah. I mean, I literally have a list
Are,
on
are
Letterbox
there
Groundhog Days.
wasn't there a movie that came out in like 2019? I thought there was another one that was kind of a similar Groundhog Day deal. I think it was just like a straight romance. It was almost like a teen drama, but Groundhog Day. I forget the title, but I wonder if there are other movies that have done a similar
Yeah,
premise.
I mean, there are
But,
many
yeah.
things that I mean, Doctor Who did an episode like that, which you'd expect from a time travel show.
Yeah,
The I mean the whatchamacallit, the Agents of Shield has an episode in season 7, which is also Groundhog Day. So yeah,
yeah. Movies, I'm thinking more so. I'm not sure though,
yeah,
but we've covered a lot. So,
yeah. All right. Well, with that said, Evan, um, 2 weeks ago
what do you got?
when I recommended K-pop
Oh,
Demon Hunters, if you remember, I did that because I forgot what movies I wanted to recommend. I
you
literally had
completely
two.
spaced on like
Yeah,
your obvious
I had
picks.
two movies in mind, and so I wrote them down. I have a list here of movies. I have a list of, well, of two movies and one franchise, which we'll get into that franchise at some point. I think it'll be interesting. But the movie I'm going to recommend
Ooh.
is one we've talked about quite a bit, referencing it here and there. It's a movie I love. It's a movie you do not love at all. It's Babylon by the man Chazelle.
Oh, finally. Oh my God. Yeah.
It is about time we rewatched it. It is a 3 hours long movie, but I love that movie. I think it is so freaking great, and Evan does not like it at all.
Not at all. I have only seen it once. I'm always hesitant whenever I've only seen a movie once. I'm like, it could have just been in a bad mood or something like, you never know. You can see it differently after all this time. But my God, is that movie vulgar? It's so funny. Like, I'm like, I love The Wolf of Wall Street. I've referenced it this episode, but I'm like, there is something so extra about Babylon where I'm just like, why do we need this much sex and drugs and swearing to like beyond high heaven? It's like, what is with just the utter vulgarity when this is like almost a spiritual successor to Singing in the Rain? It's like it's shockingly cynical for Damien Chazelle from what I remember. I'm I know the ending's the ending, but I am curious and I'll think on rewatch because
Yeah.
that was a movie to watch in theaters.
Yeah, I love that movie. I love the ending. I love everything. I think it's just like a 10 out of 10, honestly. I love that movie so, so much. So, yeah.
Mm.
We'll s-
Libyan 5, 10 years, it'll get its revival, and people are like, hey, why were people so? People always pull that cope card whenever a movie gets hated, and it's like, well, in 10 years, it's like,
Yeah.
sure, man, we'll wait and see.
I
Call
mean,
me
I
later.
do think this is a weird movie for everyone to. I mean, nobody watched it. It bombed so hard, but it's
Yeah.
like
Well,
it's fucking
I
Oscar
watched
winner Damien Chazelle with Margot Robbie. Like, what are we doing here? It's weird.
Well, I watched it in theaters. It was so funny. I remember like they had that message like Top Gun. It was the same year Top Gun Maverick came
Yeah.
out, so a bunch of people were doing like, "Hey, thank you for watching our movie in theaters the way it was meant to be seen with a crowded audience." Like there were like 4 people in my theater. I'm like,
Well, when I watched it, it
maybe
was
making a
fairly.
damn near NC-17 rated movie, which is also like 3.5 hours long, like wasn't gonna draw in a bunch of people, Damien. I'm like, Christ.
I'm okay with that, man. Fucking, that was his blank check movie. He made Whiplash and then
True.
made La La Land. It was like this fucking, it's that. It's
He he earned the just do
yeah,
whatever he wants movie.
yeah.
I find it funny that seemingly that was what he wanted, to just
Well, it is
go
so
that
interesting because I
insane.
think
Like,
it
okay.
mixes Whiplash and La La Land so much, like thematically, in the sense of like Whiplash is the cynicism of like how much the obsession with perfection, with being the best at something, and how much that can like drive you insane. And La La Land is like the more beautiful, like romantic side of
Embracing the
like,
passion.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
embracing your passion. And Babylon is like both because it talks about like the beauty of cinema and everything, but like the cynical side of it. It's why I love the end. We'll get into it when we talk about the movie.
Yeah, yeah. Gotta rewatch it first. Gotta rewatch it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have
Clearly, we
lots to
have a lot
say.
to say about
Yeah,
this.
clearly. It's probably gonna be one of our more interesting discussions with both of us having very strong opinions either way. Um, so yeah,
Probably a little Superman-esque or like,
yeah,
very strong opinions on either side. Might be a bulky discussion. So yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Babylon, yeah. All right, folks. Thank you very much for watching. We do highly recommend you watch Palm Springs. Very fun movie. And yeah, we'll catch you next week for Babylon. See you later, folks.
Catch. See you later.
Bye bye.